What's going on, everybody? B. Scott, I'm here with
Godzilla.
And on today's show, we got your matchup video. This is every single matchup when we're looking at all the game picks, the spreads, and telling you our predictions ahead of Week 5 in the NFL.
Hey, man, we even got an England game.
Yeah, absolutely. So get your tea, get your crumpets ready, and keep it locked and loaded right here at the first 4 downs.
Yep. Already know. Drop it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. B. Scott, G.O.D. here, and we're going over the matchups. Every single matchup ahead of Week 5. We just had a Thursday night football game. Los Angeles Rams taking care of business. Beat the Seattle Seahawks pretty handedly. I'd say Russell Wilson without one hand, you know. Yeah. Not looking good for his outlook. Matthew Stafford did get injured also, but he came back and played through it. Also another hand injury, so these guys got to take their hands together or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the Rams, they look good. They got it done on the road. Seattle still look good, and honestly, Geno Smith, man, he played pretty well considering. Him coming out of the huddle, and I was like, you know what, this ain't looking good. They had the ball on the 2-yard line. Drives the length of the field, 98 yards for a touchdown. So, yeah, Russell Wilson, we'll have to wait and see how that injury plays out.
Yeah.
For that Seahawks team, I mean, at the moment, 2-3, not looking pretty, especially if they got to go weeks without Russell Wilson here.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine, though. You know, Geno came in, did an extended drive. Even at the end of the game went and won. Lockett fell down in the coverage.
Yeah.
And threw that pick at the end, you know what I mean? I guess that's just Geno Smith in a nutshell. But,
yeah.
You know, it does suck for Russell Wilson. We'll see what happens. I'm sure we'll be hearing all about this within the next 24 to 48 hours. But we hit that completely perfect. We were worried about the spread changing and opening up as a 1-point favorite and 48 points. We called it under, and it was under, and the Rams won. You know what I'm saying? By 6, I believe. So, you know, that's locked. Let's go to Sunday's matchups.
Yeah, of course. So before we have today's content, don't forget, like the video, subscribe, share, thumb bell, all the good stuff, and then comment. You want to hear any more about the matchups that we're going to be suggesting on? Drop in the comment section. We'll be glad to get back to you. And if you have anything fantasy related, fantasy questions, also you can drop any of those questions, trade, flex, start, sit, whatever. Drop in the comment section. We'll be glad to get back to you. So,
Of course.
let's start. We got the London game. We got our tea ready.
It's in England.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. Either way, New York Jets are playing the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
Atlanta Falcons going to be playing without Calvin Ridley, no Russell Gage, no wide receiving core at the moment, you know. So the New York Jets are coming off a huge week. They got the first win of the season at home against Tennessee Titans. I think the momentum is swinging here for the Jets, but now I'm kind of second guessing a young quarterback rookie, not only on the road but overseas. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I like the Jets in this matchup personally, just because I think the Atlanta Falcons defense is not very good. I think them being without pass catchers is going to hurt. They haven't been able to move the ball effectively downfield anyway and make those big plays. The running backs, they've been okay. Not that great effectively running the ball between the tackles, but Cordero Patterson, you see, is making play as a wide receiver anyway. I like the Jets here, honestly. Plus 2.5. That's the spread at 45 over-under. I think it's going to be an over in this game because both these defenses just aren't that great.
Yeah, I'm with you there. You know, I'm not running to the window to bet this game in a big parlay. Maybe just straight up. You know what I mean? I got the Jets money line with the upset. You know, you look at Zach Wilson, you know, a rookie quarterback, back-to-back games, you know what I'm saying? Can he produce a win? I guess a streak has to happen at some point.
Right?
Right? You know what I mean? But it is in England, and these are always shitty games. So, you know, I'm going to take Jets to win this one just flat out.
Okay. I'm on the same boat. I'm going to take 2.5 because I think the Atlanta Falcons could win this game. I really do. They should probably win this game handily. But
but can they win without nobody?
That's
you know
what I'm saying.
It's just like pretty much Matt Ryan and offensive lineman.
Yeah, of course. I don't know. Maybe they can get downfield and catch the passes.
Crazy.
Anyway, we're both on the Jets in this one, and I think it's going to be over the 45. Yeah. So, on to the next matchup. We got Philadelphia Eagles on the road against Carolina Panthers. Carolina minus 3.5 in this game. 45 over-under. That's pretty low, in my opinion. I get it. Carolina's defense has been great, but you saw Dallas Cowboys really handed it to them last week. Dallas is looking legit, plain and simple. But Carolina, I think this is an easy win because Philly has struggled so much.
Yeah.
And Jalen Hurts is still, you got to realize, a lot of people, you got Jalen Hurts in the starting role. He's only started eight games now in the NFL. It's not. He doesn't even have a full season under his belt. So he's still pretty much a rookie. That's what I'm saying. And then you got a new head coach and all this stuff. So they're struggling a bit on defense. You saw it last week. Tyreek Hill come off the huge game. 3 touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes just lit him up.
And they was like number 1 in the league in pass coverage.
Yeah, of course. So obviously I like Carolina in this matchup, even at the 3.5. I think Philly could possibly hang around in this game because they do have garbage time points available. Jalen Hurts has been able to continue to play and score points. So, but I like Carolina, period.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I don't really have much to add to that, except for the addition of Stephon Gilmore. I don't know if he's going to play in this game, but that'll just bolster, the secondary that is also already great.
Yeah.
I think that pressure with Burns, they're going to be able to get to Jalen Hurts. Nick Sirianni, they're all still getting accustomed to this offense. It's the second year in it. We'll see, but I just don't see them winning this game. Just based on the garbage time, I'll probably buy a half a point and take Carolina with 3.
Yeah, of course. Me too. We're on the same boat.
Yeah.
I still like the over because I think Carolina's going to be able to score at will, and I think Philly could put up some points in garbage time.
Yeah.
Next matchup, we're going to be looking at Green Bay Packers on the road against Cincinnati Bengals. Green Bay, -3.5, over under a 50. Now, Green Bay is starting to come into form and looking like a solid football team, a very sound football team.
Yeah.
They haven't given up a bunch of big sacks. Luckily, the offensive line has played okay in spots. And the defense, still struggling. Honestly, Jair Alexander hasn't really locked down as much as I thought he would on most receivers here. Still a great secondary with him, don't get me wrong, but they've been giving up plays. You saw last week, Jair Alexander gave up the touchdown. You know what I mean? So I want to take the Bengals in this matchup. I'll be 100% honest on the +3.5. Could the Packers completely blow them out? Sure. The Bengals coming off a win, albeit didn't look great. Tale of two halves against Jacksonville Jaguars team. Really got beat up in the first half and then came all the way back. 3 straight touchdown drives in the second half for the Bengals last week. So Joe Burrow's playing good. The offense is rolling. Hopefully they get T. Higgins back healthy. Looking like he's limited in practice. That should bolster the wide receiver core. And I just think I don't see the Bengals getting blown out here at home.
Yeah, I'm not really sure on this game either. I think the Packers, since that week 1 loss, obviously they're looking more like the Green Bay Packers. We know MVS is out of this game, so I like Tunyon in this one a lot. You look at last year when they lost Alan Lazard, we start seeing efficient touches from Robert Tunyon. He's just getting in the end zone. So possibly that fruition could happen here starting. But, also, Randall Cobb got in the end zone last week too, so you know what I mean. There could be targets there. You know what I'm saying. So you look at all this. You look at Cincinnati last week. Yeah, Jacksonville came out, played them very strong in the first half. So if I was really betting, I would probably take Green Bay first half. You know what I mean, just to cover the points. But picking the game, I'm going to take Green Bay in this one, and I really don't like it because Cincinnati does play well at home. But with a 50 over number, they're expecting some points here. Period. And I think that if you are really trying to back a number, you got to take Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, and these guys.
Okay, so you take them on the money line. You're gonna take 3.5. Maybe buy it down for 3.
Yeah, I'll take a money line, probably 3.5. Honestly, I think they can get up.
Yeah, I do too. I think Cincy's gonna hang around in this game and possibly keep it to a field goal. Yeah. So I'm gonna take Cincy on the +3. We're divided on that one. Next matchup. Kind of a bad game, to be honest. New England Patriots on the road against Houston Texans. New England favored -9.5. The over-under is 39.5. I'm going to take the Patriots to win this game, period. I got the money line. I don't know if they can really blow out the Houston Texans, but I'll tell you what. We know Belichick. He owns rookie quarterbacks. Davis Mills, 4 interceptions, albeit against the Buffalo defense last week. And New England Patriots played a great football game against Tampa. But the weather permitting kept them in that game. And they played good, don't get me wrong. They really did. Mac Jones didn't make a bunch of mistakes. I obviously like the Patriots to win this game because I don't trust Houston at all. But I don't know if I could take 9.5. It's just a little too large for me on the spread.
I'm with you there. I think the Patriots were motivated because Tom Brady was coming back home last week. Honestly, on the season, they ain't been blowing nobody out. And Mac Jones ain't really did much. He was throwing 1 touchdown per game, you know what I'm saying? There was a game that he didn't have a touchdown. So in this one against Houston, where Houston was averaging 26 points a game, I mean, Davis Mills, you got to understand that was his first or second start on the road as a rookie, you know what I mean, just coming in the league. So, I mean, at home, I think there'll be a better product. I'm taking the Brandon Cooks revenge game. I'm going to take +10 Houston.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. Don't get me wrong. I just Bill Belichick's been so good against rookies. You know what I mean? You saw what he did with Zach Wilson. Really shut out the Jets.
Yeah, I ain't saying they ain't gonna win, but 4-10 with the money line's too rich for my blood. So I'm gonna take the value at the +10 with Cincinnati. Houston.
Yeah,
I just think there's more value there.
Yeah, of course. So we're on the same boat, except I got New England on the money line, albeit it's not going to be a great payday. Maybe if you sneak it into a bigger parlay, make your money. But on to the next matchup, Tennessee. On the road against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I don't like this
Tennessee
game.
minus 4.5, 48.5 over under. I don't know what to make of it. A.J. Brown is looking like he's going to be healthy to play. Tennessee coming off a loss to the New York Jets. Could they really lose back-to-back games against two of the worst teams in football? You know what I mean? That's my only worry here. It's a division game. Tennessee, Derrick Henry has really just ran over the Jacksonville Jaguars, especially in recent past. I can't take... I have Jacksonville at 4.5 because I think Tennessee will win the game, but I think Jacksonville will be able to keep it close.
Yeah, well, this is a tough game, you know what I mean? And Jacksonville, they're losing, but obviously, you know, in the headlines, they're partying over there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Right.
So
it's coming.
You know,
it's coming.
I guess eventually
they're getting ready for the wins. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. And eventually, you got to win one. I'm gonna just take a chance and put my foot out here. I ain't gonna bet it, but I'm gonna take Jacksonville to win this game.
Okay. Yeah. I understand that. Like I said, I got it at the 4.5. Also, I think they'll be able to keep it close. Tennessee just hasn't looked good, especially on defense.
Yeah,
it's been terrible.
The defense is terrible, and then, you know, Julio Jones probably won't go in this game. A.J. Brown, no, he doesn't need the targets, but he needs to be healthy enough to run routes. So I'm really confused there. Westbrook, he disappeared last week.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know what they can really do outside of Derrick Henry. We know last week Jacksonville put it on Cincinnati in the first half. You know, they let it go.
They could have won. That's what I'm saying. They could have won that game.
Yeah, I think they could possibly win this divisional matchup here. Yeah, I'm taking Jacksonville.
Okay, I'm on Jacksonville too at plus 4.5. So
it's a party over here,
right? They're going to be ready this week. That's for sure.
For real.
Detroit Lions on the road against the Minnesota Vikings plus 10.5.
Another tough one.
Detroit plus 10.5. So Minnesota minus 10.5. 49 over under. And I got to be 100% honest, Detroit in the recent past has really been beat up by Minnesota, especially on the road. They haven't been able to keep it close. I think the way that head coach has got them playing, they're playing to the end of the snaps of every single game, even down 2 or 3 scores. So this is where the spread for me is too large for me not to take it.
Yeah.
So I like Detroit in the 10 plus 10.5 because Minnesota, albeit, is a good offense. They should win this football game handedly. But I could see Detroit just coming back and keeping it close. Probably within 10 points. So 10.5 here, I got to take Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that point spread is like really big for me right now. And knowing that Detroit is coming back in second halves and just staying there, you know what I'm saying, to every snap. You know, 450 for the money line is a little bit too rich for me. Even though I do see Minnesota winning this game, I'm going to take the over in this game. I think there's going to be a lot of points in this one scored, and that's the bottom line.
Okay. So, yeah, I got the Detroit because I think they're going to just be able to keep it close. On to the next matchup. This is pretty much a pick 'em for some reason. Denver on the road against Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, my God.
Really, it's like this is one of those picks. You close your eyes like that and you just point and you go, oh, okay.
Yeah,
you know
you got to mix the paper around because you know Pittsburgh's at the bottom.
I'm telling you, so money line is minus on both sides. Yeah. So it's a lose-lose, essentially, to bet this game. In my opinion, I have to think that Pittsburgh has to get a win here. You know, being 1-3, Denver's defense has been good, plain and simple. But they still can give up some points a little bit. Denver's offense has not looked great. The offensive line has been bad. And there's just no hope they're not scoring any points. But on the same token, I don't know if I trust that Denver offense. You know what I mean? Realistically. And Bridgewater, is he going to play or not? If it's Drew Lock, how effectively is that going to be? He looked pretty poor, honestly, against Baltimore. So, obviously, he wasn't really ready, but still, I don't know what to make of this game. I really don't, and I'm going to take Pittsburgh at home. I'm just going to give them the benefit of the doubt, plain and simple.
Well, you know, Denver were 3-0. They beat all the terrible teams, you know what I'm saying? They were 3-0, and I think they'll beat another terrible team. So I'm going to be contrarian to your bet, and I'm going to pick Denver. It is what it is. I mean, Melvin Gordon is a little bit banged up, but Javonte Williams can't handle the workload, obviously. I think at some point, is going to break open for him. Tim Patrick, Cortland Sutton, these guys are, you know, being open. I don't care if he's even Drew Lock. I mean, it might be a better situation for Cortland Sutton with Drew Lock. So, you know, I'm taking Denver, just money line, just the upset.
Okay. Honestly, for 39.5 over and under, it's hard for me to even take the over in this game.
There's no upset.
I know, yeah. So, all right, on to the next matchup. We got the Miami Dolphins On the road against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay favored by 10.5.
It's funny how they're favored by 10.5, but they weren't favored by 10.5 in this last
I think
game.
it's just because they were at home. At home and on the road, that was the difference. But 48 over-under in this game. And I'll be honest, I got to take Tampa at minus 10.5. I mean, you see Miami Dolphins, they just don't look great. They really got blown out by the Colts last week.
It looked like the Dolphins.
They lost by 10 points to the Colts at home. You really think they're going to keep it within 10 points?
And Wentz had two bad ankles. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
It's like, fuck, he was taped up on both sides. But, like, how did y'all not beat him?
Brissett, he's looking okay in garbage time. That's it. But I'm telling you right now, I got to take Tampa at the minus 10.5. I wouldn't even buy. I mean, maybe you buy a point for 9.5. There's no need, in my opinion, because I think Tampa should win by 2 scores easily. The secondary has been decimated with injuries. They're missing their corners. Richard Sherman was out there on 2 days of being with the team. 1 week of acclimation. That should help him get acclimated a little bit. It should help the secondary somewhat. But I still don't see Miami Dolphins being able to put up points to hang with this Tampa Bay offense.
Hey, you ain't know? This is Tampa Bay, man. We fishing on the side of this boat, and we like taking dolphins all day long. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Killing them, slaughtering them. This is what it is. Okay. Tampa Bay, period.
There you go. Tampa Bay minus 10.5.
Let's get that over.
I think it's going to be under because I don't think Miami Dolphins going to be able to score some points. But we'll see. We'll go on to the New Orleans Saints on the road against the Washington football team. New Orleans Saints minus 2.5, 43.5 over under. I got to be honest. I like the Washington football team in this game plus 2.5. It's a 43.5 over under. There's no way it goes under 43.5. I mean, Washington football team's averaging 30 points. The Saints, I want to say, are still averaging over 20 points. And they just got beat last week by the New York Football Giants. Now, yes, if I was to bet this game, I probably wouldn't even play this game 100% because the Saints you can't trust at all. Who knows what team's going to show up? They were at home for the first time having fans in the Superdome in over a year and a half, and they lose to the Giants in overtime. That's embarrassing. You know what I mean? So, I'm sorry, I can't bet the game, but if I had to choose, I think Washington can pull this game out. Now, who knows what New Orleans Saints team is going to show up? That's what depends on the betting. And that's why, like I said, if it was up to me, I would be staying away. But I'm going to take Washington on the plus 2.5, and I think it's going to be over the 43.5.
Yeah, let's kill this. I'm going to take Washington money line. You know what I mean? At home dog. I'm taking them. A weather game potentially here. You know, these boys, we know the Saints in the past, they don't play well in weather games. You know what I'm saying? They don't play really well typically outside of a dome either. Going to Washington, that's a whole different football game against a head coach who knows what you're going to do. You know what I'm saying? Ron Rivera played with the Carolina Panthers or coached Carolina Panthers for a long time. So I have the advantage in Washington.
Okay, absolutely. We're both on the Washington football team. So next matchup, Cleveland Browns on the road against the Los Angeles Chargers. Los Angeles Chargers at home, favored 2.5. Over under 47.
This is the one where we should see if Justin Herbert is a man. You know what I mean?
1, 2. And honestly, Justin Herbert's played pretty well through the first 4 weeks, period.
Yeah,
I mean, he's hung in all these games.
Herbert.
He's hung in all these games. There's been some bad mistakes. They've gotten a lot of penalties that's cost them some games, honestly. Even with the Cowboys, they should have been in that game, possibly winning that game. But I like Cleveland in the plus 2.5 just based on the defense that's been showing up. The defense over the last 2 weeks has been outstanding. 9 sacks on Justin Fields 2 weeks ago. You saw what they did. Shut down the Minnesota Vikings offense last week. The Bears, they gave up, 100 yards of offense. So the Browns, defense has looked outstanding, plain and simple. And I really think they could give Herbert enough fits. Now, albeit it's hard, they got a lot of weapons on the outside. The tight end, Jared Cook's more than manageable. You got Austin Eckler out of the backfield. But I think this defense can slow him down. And Baker has looked terrible. There's no beating around it. He hasn't looked good.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not a superstitious man, but I'm going to just do it. Odell's the curse.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Since he's been back, that team on offense looked like fucking shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now Baker's shoulders hurt too. It's like, bro.
We talked about it for 2 years. Like, when OBJ's out, Baker Mayfield looks like a good quarterback.
Cover of Madden.
When OBJ, I'm telling you. So, I still like Cleveland, based on the defense, to hang in this game at plus 2.5. And we know the Chargers can be beat on the ground. Plain and simple, through the run game. And Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt could make this happen. So I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns on the road in a plus 2.5 spot.
Man, I just like, the game that they played Monday night against the Raiders just made me believe in them. You know what I'm saying? I really like the Chargers, the way they playing. I feel like they're a very fluid offense. I think eventually they'll be able to break open spots. Mike Williams playing out his mind, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got Keenan Allen who just simply finds a way to get open. You know, even if they shut Austin Eckler down running through between the tackles, he's still viable in the pass game. I think they can edge him out. You know what I'm saying? You look at the spread, 2.5. I think they can beat these guys by a field goal. And it's going to be a tough one. But, you know, on the other side of the ball, outside of the running game, which is really good, you know what I'm saying? It's Nick Chubb. It's Kareem Hunt. It's that offensive line. We get it. But there's no other explosion happening in the passing game. So, you know, can they really keep up? If the Chargers happen to get up on some rogue shit, you know what I mean? Like, can they really stay in this game? I'm not really sure. Can they shut them completely out? This is not a Chicago Bears offense. You know what I'm saying? This is Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to be able to shoot it out with any team, and I feel like they just got the edge. I'm going to take LA Chargers 2.5.
So now we're going to look at the next matchup. Chicago Bears on the road against the Las Vegas Raiders. -5.5 for Las Vegas. At home favorite. Over under at 44. Honestly, Chicago's games haven't really gone over 44. The last 3 haven't. So in this matchup, I don't know if I could take the over. It's pretty tough. I think the Las Vegas Raiders will be able to score enough on the Bears, but Justin Fields and that offense as a whole, I don't know what the Bears are going to be able to bring here, to be honest. So I like the Raiders here. I don't know if I could take the 5.5. Albeit the Bears haven't looked great on offense. They're coming off a great win against the Detroit Lions defense that we know is bad, plain and simple. So, and the Las Vegas Raiders, their secondary's banged up a little bit, but their defense is still pretty good. Coming off a loss to the Los Angeles Chargers, I think the Chargers just outmatched them on offense, plain and simple. Austin Eckler, Mike Evans, or Mike Williams, you know what I mean? Keenan Allen. So, I like the Raiders here. I would like it on the money line, personally, because I don't necessarily love the 5.5 points, but I think the Raiders are going to get it done here at home.
Yeah, I think so too. You know, the key thing here is like Justin Fields and Matt Nagy. Really, if you really want to emphasize it here, I mean, you're going on the road against Mad Max in the Thunderdome.
Yeah,
they just lost a crucial divisional game against the Chargers, like you mentioned. But Justin Fields, I mean, what can they do in the passing game?
Yeah,
David Montgomery's out of this game, so we get to see a little bit of Damian Williams. The last thing we seen from Damian Williams was a Super Bowl hero, you know what I'm saying? A guy in the playoffs who really picked it up for the Kansas City Chiefs when they were covering spreads.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Like, you know, they had a running back and they can cover spreads. It's crazy. But, you know, bouncing back on the Raiders, you know, I think they'll be able to do this. The Chicago Bears secondary is still garbage.
Yeah.
Where's Allen Robinson?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, so you're telling me you're going to go in there with Justin Fields against Mad Max and these guys and throw it to Darnell Mooney all game long with Damian Williams and win this game? I don't see it.
Yeah.
I see the Raiders covering the spread. I got the Raiders 5.5 at home.
Okay, I'm all right with that. I got a money line just to play the safer card.
Yeah.
Because the Chicago Bears, they still have a decent football team. They're not, in my opinion, they're not bad, but they're not great either.
Bad news Bears.
Okay. Anyway, we're both on the Raiders on that pick, plain and simple. We can move on. San Francisco 49ers on the road against the Arizona Cardinals. -4.5 for Arizona at home.
Area.
50 over under here. Arizona 4-0, the only undefeated team in the league. Playing great, but still has been put into spots where they've given up points. You know, they barely pulled out a victory against the Minnesota Vikings. Jacksonville Jaguars, they got some plays on them. And then last week, they really just, they punched the Los Angeles Rams in the mouth, plain and simple.
Yeah.
Wire-to-wire victory. Great win. Now they're at home, another division foe, San Francisco 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo, is he going to play or not? That plays a factor. I got to go Arizona here just because the Niners defense hasn't looked as daunting as we hoped it would coming in and is healthy. So I got to go the Arizona Cardinals. Who's going to stop Kyler Murray? Who's going to stop the passing attack? You know what I mean? It's just not going to happen here. I'm going to take Arizona even at the 4.5. I think it's going to be over. I think there's going to be a lot of points to be had in this game. And I got the Arizona Cardinals.
I know the Niners and what they do, and you know the play action and the running game. The running game is non-existent right now. You know the hooks and all the little bubble screens that they produce with George Kittle doing the play action, everything like that. But I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I really don't know. This Arizona Cardinal team is for real. They're 4-0 for a reason, and they've been playing like that on the gas all season long. Give it. They had a close game in the end with Minnesota, but San Francisco is not this caliber of team right now.
Yeah.
They're just simply not. A lot of it has to do with the injuries. We mentioned that in the preview show, but you're looking at Jimmy Garoppolo. If he plays this game, what is he going to be better than what he's been so far? Probably not against the secondary.
Yeah.
Not against Budda Baker, not against these guys up front. So if Trey Lance is in this, what people have to remember is Trey Lance is a rookie. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be his first start on the road against a divisional foe that is undefeated.
Yeah, I know.
I think
That's
people
like
are missing
the trifecta.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand the spread here. I think people are missing the point. I'm taking Arizona with the 5. What is it, 4.5?
Yeah.
I'm taking Arizona 4.5.
Okay. Yeah, we're on the same boat there. I think it's going to be over. I think there's going to be a decent amount of points here. And Trey Lance, we just don't know how that's going to shake out, what the offense is really going to look like with him. And I don't get me wrong. He brings a totally different dynamic than Jimmy Garoppolo. So I could see this game being closer than people really think, but I still think Arizona's going to get it done. They're going to win by over 4.5. That's what we got it on.
They're going to smack him by like 3 touchdowns.
Okay, so we can move on. We got the New York Giants on the road against Dallas Cowboys. Dallas -7.5. Favorites at home, over under 52. Dallas has played great, and in my opinion, is arguably a top 5 team, period. They can do it at all the levels. They have a great quarterback, MVP caliber. They have a great receiving core, Cooper and CeeDee Lamb. They got 2 tight ends that can catch the ball and 4 touchdowns. Blake Jarwin, Dalton Schultz, 2 tight end sets. Now they can run the ball effectively with Zeke and Tony Pollard. They can do everything on offense. The defense, they're getting turnovers, 2+ interceptions in every single game this season, and they're making it happen. Trayvon Diggs is a star, albeit he does give up some plays here and there, but he also gets the interceptions. So I like the Dallas Cowboys, period.
NFC Defensive Player of the Month.
Absolutely. I like the Dallas Cowboys, period, here. The 7.5 is a little high for me just because the Giants seem to always stick around in these games for some reason. You see last week, they were dogs against the Saints. What happened? They turned around and beat them on the road in a tough spot. Now this game, 7.5. I put nothing past the Giants. They played good in some spots. They're 1-3 for a reason. They're not a great football team, but albeit they've played decently, especially on offense. So I'm going to take Dallas on the money line here just because I don't know if I can trust the point spread. And I think this game's going to be over. There's going to be a lot of points.
Yeah, I think there's a potential to be a lot of points here. Saquon looks really back and healthy, and that is a very big plus for the New York Football Giants, as we do know them to be. But I think that the Dallas defense have a lot of guys that are fast to the ball. You look at Micah Parsons and the pressures that he builds, you know what I mean? I don't know if Daniel Jones can get out of this pocket and extend the way he's been able to do on a lot of these other teams. You look at, like we say, Trayvon Diggs has been outstanding in every game so far this year. That man is really in his bag, and he's covering everything that's getting thrown his way. So, even if it's Kenny Golladay, whatever receiver that they have healthy this week, I think they're going to get shut down a lot. On the outside of that, they got rid of Jalen Smith. That was the big news coming into the week. And he was really a liability, on that defense. He signed a max extension this year before week 1, but he hadn't really played the part. You see Michael Parsons outperforming them, and people forget that they had Jabril Cox out of LSU on that team. So the expectation is for him to be more involved on the defensive side of the game. You know what I mean? And that guy is a outstanding playmaker. So that really shows me that they really don't got a shot in this game, I don't think. You know what I mean? Dak Prescott is obviously playing the part of being the comeback player of the year where he was last year, and I really like these Cowboys a lot. I like them to cover the spread. I think they win by 10.
Okay. I'm going to take the money line just to be safe, but yeah, I do love the Cowboys here in a matchup. I really don't think the Giants are going to be able to hang around that close, considering the Cowboys, man, have just been, look at it. They put it on the Carolina Panthers defense last week.
Yeah.
You really think, what is the Giants defense going to do? You know what I mean?
I don't see it. Without Blake Martinez, Zeke, he's one of these guys that, he's finna turn in that spoon.
I'm telling you.
Feeding, eating, you know what it is.
Yeah, so we're both on Dallas. Now we can look at Buffalo. This is the game of the week. Buffalo Bills.
This is a scary game.
On the road against Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City favored at home, -3.5. I get it. It's 3.5 is kind of big against Buffalo, but they can't have it any lower anyway because then it just gets risky. 56.5 over under. This is the largest over under I've ever seen in a game. And I'll tell you right now, But everyone's got to be picking Buffalo here. Buffalo to be the underdogs, playing as well as they have. And you see the Chiefs, yes, they're coming off a great win against Philly. But honestly, on the season, they've shown some holes, especially on the defensive side. So for me, I like Buffalo in the game.
Up until that point, they hadn't covered the spread until like week 8 of last year.
Yeah, of course. So I like Buffalo, to be honest, at the plus 3.5, just because they've played well. The defense is playing great, and they play wire to wire. They're not giving up garbage time points to these teams. 40-0, they beat the Texans. 35-0, the Miami Dolphins. Most people don't get shut out that often, but to do it twice in a season already tells me they're not messing around. They're looking to take that step.
And they are blowing out a lot of teams, a lot of bad teams.
Of course, but they're not giving up points either.
When it's going to playing against a team like this, the Kansas City Chiefs, Josh Gordon is activated for this game, by the way. Okay. So that could be an X factor. Can they guard everybody? I don't know. I don't know how well he knows the playbook at this point, but he is on the 53-man roster. Maybe we get to see him in sets. We'll see what happens. But, I don't even think necessarily at a betting point that I'm even betting against the Buffalo Bills or the Kansas City Chiefs. I think I'm going to bet against the books. You know what I'm saying? All the public money is on the spread of Buffalo and on Moneyline Buffalo. I think I'm going to take the contrarian bet, and I'm going to go Kansas City to cover the spread at 3.5.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm going against the grain.
I really think so. I think that if you set it this low, what's the expectation for you to bring it home? You know what I mean? I think you win here. Tons of value with Kansas City. We've seen what they did. They both put up 40 points. Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill last week in half-point PPR. I think this is the week. They show everybody that they still are that team, and they pull this one out. You know what I mean? I got Kansas City, 3.5, period.
Okay, I got Buffalo at 3.5. We're split on that one. I think it's going to be over. This is one of those games. These are one of these games you hope it's just one of those epic shootouts. It's set up to be an epic shootout.
Yeah, like that hopefully Kansas City LA Rams. I mean, man, I really hope so.
So hopefully that goes over because it's going to be exciting to watch. Then we got a Monday Night Football snoozer a little bit.
Yeah.
Indianapolis Colts on the road against Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore favored -7.5. 46 over and under. The Colts coming off a huge win, beating the Miami Dolphins, getting the first win of the season, and albeit pretty handedly, won by 10 points.
Yeah.
The Baltimore Ravens. They beat the Denver Broncos. Denver's got a great defense. They did. They by 1 point. They beat the Denver Broncos 20-6. I want to say that was the score. Either way, the Baltimore Ravens are starting to round into form with that defense a little bit better. Their pass catchers. We'll see if Bateman finds the field. Marquise Brown is always a given for a touchdown.
See that ball he caught last week? Yeah. Oh my God, I'm so proud of that man.
Of course, he must have held off from the candy bars, the Butterfinger candy bars before the game. But for me, I like the Colts in this matchup just based on the point spread. 7.5 is a large point spread. They play decently. I don't think they win this football game, but I think they can hang around and keep it close. Maybe lose by 3 or 4 points. So I'm going to take the Colts here. I like the Ravens to win at home, but I think the Colts are going to be able to cover the spread.
I mean, the Colts, they had a guy taped up on both ankles last week, and he played pretty good. Carson Wentz did play pretty good last week, and I think they gave him like 2 options. Throw the ball or throw the ball away. Either way, get rid of the fucking ball instead of trying to run it because that's not your game.
Yeah, of course.
Honestly, that's what probably got you outside of being in Philadelphia a starter there. Ultimately, though, I think that even though we seen the Jonathan Taylor sighting last week, it's going to take more than Jonathan Taylor for them to win this game.
Yeah.
I got Baltimore at home, money line, period. I think they just take this one down.
Okay, yeah. I think it's going to be over. I think there's going to be a decent amount of points, like 27-20. 27-24, something like that. That's probably going to be the score here. And so I got the Colts just based on the point spread. So anyway, that's been all the matchups. Every matchup we've gone through ahead of week 5. And once again, if you have any questions, comments, just drop in the comment section. We'll be glad to answer them. And then like the video. Subscribe, share, thumb bell. And we got all
Instagram.
Of course, we got all the shows every single week that you could use for fantasy, for your betting, for whatever. Yeah. So, once again, for the first 4 downs, it's been B. Scott.
Godzilla.
And we out.
Yeah. See you next week.